All right, welcome. We're going to go ahead and get started just to honor everybody who was able to show up on time. I will provide a link to this if you missed anything. I'll put it in the chat in a bit, and you can watch it on your own and pause and whatever you need to do to see it. But I need to get started here. All right, this is just some information about me. I graduated from Long Beach State University, double major in Chicano Studies and Political Science. I also have 2 master's degrees from National University. My wife, Maddie, she's a teacher, a 5th grade teacher as well. I have 2 children, Aliana, 15, and Junior, who's 12, and my mom, who's 76. She lives with us as well. I've been a teacher and a basketball coach for 31 years. And as you can tell, I'm a huge Laker fan, and I'm very happy that the Lakers are playing really well, and they're playing right now, as a matter of fact. And of course, can't forget about my little dog, Luna Magic Kobe Cuevas. So let's keep going here. Quote that I like to share with my students and that I like to live by is, if you're afraid to fail, then you're probably going to fail, by Kobe Bryant. I always try to push my students and my own kids to operate without fear. You're going to make mistakes. That's okay. You learn from them. All right, communication. Best way to get in touch with me is always going to be email. My email is there on top, and you can always get it from your child. I will respond within 24 hours. Just be a little patient because we get about 200 emails a day, but I will get to you. I also have a Google Voice number. It's not a personal number. It's an app. But you can call this number during my office hours, which I believe until are 8 to 4. I may answer. Beyond the office hours, you can leave a voicemail. You can also text this number. Remind is an app that we use to communicate with students. They do not have to share their numbers with me, and I don't share mine with them. About 80 to 90% of my students are signed up for the Remind app. I send them messages, and they can reply to me and ask me questions. So if your child is not on Remind, please encourage them to get on there. The image you see here on the right is a Google Classroom summary. We use Google Classroom to send to parents. If you're interested in getting a summary of our weekly assignments, or even daily if you prefer, send me an email, and I will get you signed up for that. You'll get an invite for that. All right, my grading system, pretty straightforward. 90% and above is an A, 80% and above is a B, 70 above is a C, 60 and above is a D, and 59 and below is an F. Straightforward. Most of you are used to this type of grading system. Okay, technology. If you ever have an issue with your Chromebooks or your child or a hotspot, please notify admin or notify me. We got to get that stuff working, okay? And it needs to work properly. So let somebody know, let me know, because the technology is our classroom right now. These are tough times. So it's important that everything works properly. I apologize if I'm going quickly. We don't have a lot of time together, so I just want to cover as much material as possible. My expectations for my students and for myself are to be nice to each other. We got to be kind to each other. These are tough times. We don't need us to be mean. Be kind, be safe. I always encourage my students to take care of themselves and just be safe, be responsible, observe deadlines, and be honest. These are expectations I have of myself and of my students. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And if there's time at the end, I will try to answer. And if I don't get to it, please send me an email. Homework, for now, pretty much everything is homework, right? We do everything on Google Classroom. That's a screenshot of what my Google Classroom looked like. Actually, that was last year. I try to give assignments ahead For students who want to work ahead, I rarely will give an assignment that is due that day. I always try to give students work ahead of time. So everybody's schedule is different. So I give work ahead of time, and they can always find what they need on this screen here in their own Google Classroom. And they always have stuff to do in my class. We have weekly assignments, and we have other assignments that are due at different times. But they always have stuff to do for my class. All right. What are we doing in my classes? How do we operate? There's a few things. The way I divided my class is I assume that all my students have 21st century minds. What does that mean? Their minds work quickly. They were born in the internet age. So everything is fast for them, videos and social media and video games. So I try to, my lessons are much different now than they were 15 years ago. We do things quickly. I try to get them moving. I give them different things to do. We do writing, different kinds of writing. We read different kinds of articles, mostly shorter stuff because, they just don't operate very well when it's long stuff. We'll watch videos. We do projects. We're always doing something different because that's just how their minds operate these days. All right, world history. I'm not going to go through all of these, but everything we do in world history is based on a theme. These are our themes for this year. We just finished Unit 1 on terrorism. We're going to cover major turning points in history, but we always try to connect them to current events, and we try to connect different things throughout history. So it's all based on themes. Okay? For my world history students, for my ethnic students, here's our units. We're just finishing up our identity unit, our identity and LGBTQ unit. The major purpose of my class in ethnic studies is that my students become educated to be politically, socially, and economically conscious about their personal connections to local and national history. We want all our students to understand that they have a place in America. All right, my academic language students, it's all about speaking, reading, and writing. We do all the different things I described earlier. If you need to talk with me about how your child can be reclassified as English proficient, you can send me a text or a call or email me. I've already presented that to all the students. I have a Google slide presentation that they all have access to in their Google Classroom. But if you want to talk about it further with me, we can. But that's our goal in this class, to get them to reclassify as English proficient. And that means speaking, reading, and writing in English. And finally, my seniors, 1 semester course in economics. We have a ton of units to cover, but it's going to be very exciting. Economics is always connected to government and politics, and this being a presidential election year, this class is always exciting in that kind of year. So we just finished up our What is Economics unit, and we're moving forward to different economic systems, like capitalism. So 1 semester course, so they will finish this course in December and then move on next year to government, which means I will never meet your children in person unless I see them on campus. Wow, I just realized that. That's terrible. But I will find them and introduce myself in person. All right, this is an important slide for me. These are tough times. These are very tough times for adults and for children. They're used to spending time together. They're very social, and it's been tough. I know it's been tough on my children. So I've shared this information with my children as well. First on the left there is the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. That's available 24 hours a day, 800-273-8255. If your child or you or anybody you know is feeling suicidal, they can call that number and get some professional help. This is another helpline, a crisis text line. They can text to 741-741. And a crisis doesn't just mean suicide. Anything that's a painful emotion for which you need support. It might be bullying, school stress, depression, anxiety, suicide, relationships, friendships, family problems, self-harm. Okay, I've provided this to your child already, but I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about this as well. If we move down here to the teen line, it's a phone number they can call. It's actually a website, teenline.org. They can talk with somebody there. It's another teenager, actually, that they can talk to. Over here is an app. It's connected, I believe, to Teen Line. They can download this app. It's called Teen Talk. And, just if they need to talk, they need to talk to somebody. The last app here is Calm. It's an app that I've used for years. I've used it a lot more lately. It's basically a meditation app. It's it teaches people to breathe and to relax and to try to push out any negative feelings that are stressing people. And stress can lead to a lot of physical problems, high blood pressure and stuff like that. So I've done the Calm app with my students already. One day we did it in class, but I encourage them and you to download this app to just help with mental health. All of this deals with mental health. Mental health is just as important as physical health. So it's important. It's important. The final thing I want to talk about up here is distance learning resources. This is on the school district, Montebello Unified School District website. There's a link there. They created a whole separate website that has videos and information, anything you can think of that might be an issue with distance learning, you can find it there. So just go to the district website and you can get that information. If you have any trouble getting there, or you're not sure how to do that, you can give me a call to my Google Voice number or send me a text or send me an email and I can guide you. All right. I believe that's it on this page here. And I think that is about it. If your questions were not answered, please send me an email or call my Google Voice number, and I will do my best to try to help you with your questions. I'm sorry this is so quick, set up this way. But again, I want to thank you for watching this presentation. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email or call me to the Google Voice number listed below. And I posted the link to this presentation in the chat. So if you need to go there, you can see this again. All right. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of your evening.